Today, I'm here to talk about a bunch of sweaty, jacked, nude guys who travel from different parts of the world to compete for supremacy in a full-contact, mixed martial arts tournament held in secret, where they beat each other to a bloody pulp. Yeah, I'm talking about the film Bloodsport. Released in 1988, Bloodsport was a hit at the time for its production company Cannon Films, the studio behind such cult classics as Death Wish, American Ninja, Masters of the Universe, and Cyborg. And I must say I do get nostalgic whenever I see that logo. Bloodsport also introduced audiences to action icon Jean-Claude Van Damme. He portrays Frank Dukes, the real-life martial arts expert. The film's premise is inspired by a story told by Dukes, who allegedly participated in a secret underground tournament in the Bahamas. Dukes called the tournament a, quote, blood sport, which inspired the movie concept. In the movie, Frank Dukes, a U.S. Army captain, leaves his post to compete in a secret tournament run by Hong Kong's criminal underground. As a boy, Dukes was trained in ninjutsu by his master Senzo Tanaka. Two investigative agents are assigned to find and arrest him. In Hong Kong, he befriends fellow American fighter Ray Jackson. In the tournament, Dukes incurs the enmity of vicious Kumite fighter Chong Li when he breaks Li's record for the fastest knockout. That's basically the gist of the plot, which really doesn't matter. This film is all about the fights, which is what it should be, and it doesn't disappoint, featuring an all-out 80s martial arts extravaganza soaked in testosterone and bone-crunching action. A lot of what gives Bloodsport its particular flavor is how it features dozens of fighters of different nationalities. It's incredibly fun watching each fighter showcase their own unique style. The no-holds-bar mixed martial arts featured in Bloodsport also inspired the launch of the MMA tournaments in 1993. Just a year prior, in 1992, another legendary blood-soaked tournament debuted in the video game world to satisfy the audience demand for gore: Mortal Kombat. In fact, the Mortal Kombat character, Johnny Cage, an action film star and martial artist in the game, was inspired by Jean-Claude Van Damme, specifically based on his role in Bloodsport. Van Damme was in fact cast to play Johnny Cage in the Mortal Kombat movie in 1995. However, Van Damme had to decline the role, since he'd already signed on for Street Fighter. And I just think how cool that would have been. These are a few examples of Bloodsport's wider cultural impact. In the past decade, Bloodsport also went viral on the internet when it was rumored to be Trump's favorite film. The source of the rumor was sparked from a New Yorker piece on Trump by journalist Mark Singer back in 1997. Trump said it was, quote, an old favorite, which spread online, and the funny thing is, nobody seemed that surprised that Trump would enjoy a mindlessly violent action movie. I mean, it fits perfectly with his MO. Vladimir Putin also evidently is a fan of the film. Not surprising, since Putin and 80s action movies have always had a bizarre affiliation. 80s action star Steven Seagal openly endorses Putin. It makes perfect sense that tough guy leaders and dictators would enjoy a film like Bloodsport. I wonder, does that make it a fascist film? Well, the film definitely buys into the myth of Western superiority. American Frank Dukes overcomes everyone else in the ring and wins the tournament. There's also the idea that men only realize their full masculine potential through violent competition. These macho action heroes of the 80s go hand in hand with the Reagan era and its focus on expanding an economy fueled by war, the military-industrial complex. Maybe it's not overtly fascist, but anybody of a fascist bent can definitely get on board with a character who beats his opponents to a bloody pulp in the ring. Bloodsport's supposedly true story of Western superiority and American exceptionalism is perhaps just a piece of entertaining fiction. It supposedly tells the true story of Frank Dux winning a secret Kumite tournament. Although the film says it verified the events as true, Dux' story has been disputed, many calling Dux a fraud, since there is no actual proof of a secret underground tournament being held every 5 years. Dux also claimed to be a top-secret CIA operative in the 80s, who spent 6 years going on secret missions in Southeast Asia. He also claimed he was awarded a Medal of Honor during his military service. It would take a longer video to verify every detail of Dux' exploits, but there is little to no evidence to back his stories. He wasn't even able to present his Medal of Honor because he evidently had to sell it to some pirates to save a group of captive children. Yeah, a little hard to buy. If Frank Dux' stories sound like a James Bond novel, it looks like he got some of his inspiration from Ian Fleming's stories. Senzo Tanaka, who trained Frank Dux in ninjutsu, both in real life and in the movie, could be taken from a character named Senzo Tanaka from Fleming's novel You Only Live Twice. While this secret Kumite tournament has been credited as the inspiration for what would become the MMA, it was likely not an actual tournament, but the film Bloodsport that influenced the formation of the MMA, which would be a case of how fiction can create, become, and even replace our reality. Another reason why Bloodsport, whose whole story could be a complete fraud, is the perfect film for Trump's America. Whether true or a hoax, Bloodsport is still a pretty kick-ass martial arts film. Van Damme delivers all of his trademark high kicks and splits. I do like how the fights are shot and edited with a lot of wide angles and don't cut away quickly, so you can see the full movement of a kick or punch as it makes contact. Action scenes today are too often edited into a disjointed mess with poor lighting, where you can't tell what's going on. The simplicity of these 80s action films are a breath of fresh air sometimes. Bloodsport still deserves its place as a cult classic. Just turn your brain off and let the tournament begin. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please hit that like button and hit subscribe, and I will see you next time.